Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, everyone. Today we're going to be doing a summary and revision session for lessons 1 to 11, inshallah. In this lesson, we will go through the summary of all the concepts that you have learned from lesson 1 to 11, which is pretty much halfway through the course, and everything that you need to have learned by now. And so I'll be giving you the categories of words in summarized form, so it's easy for you to memorize and revise. And also, we're going to be having a mini quiz, so I'll be telling you what to revise for the mini quiz. Okay, Bismillah. So, lesson 1 and 2 was all about the characteristics of nouns, which is pretty much the foundation and basis for the rest of the lessons. So we know that nouns have 4 characteristics, every single noun. And the first one is it being definite or indefinite. The second one, masculine or feminine. In Arabic, words have a gender. Third is the singular, dual, and plural. And the fourth is the state of declension. So some general rules to remember about the definite or indefinite quadrant of these 4 characteristics is that nouns are made definite by alif lam or al, and we know that al translates as the. It makes the word definite. And you must remember that you can never have tanween and alif lam in the same word. So if you look at these examples over here, we have kitabun as a tanween, and it means a book. It's indefinite. Okay. And if you want to make it definite, then you put alif lam and you make the tanween into only one haraka. You make it into one dhamma instead of a double dhamma. And it would translate as the book. So you can never have both of them together. You can't have, for example, al-kitabun. That would be incorrect. You either have alif lam or you either have a tanween, because otherwise the meaning is not clear. Same thing over here. Kitabun and al-kitabu, they are in the marfu state, dhamma dhamma. Baytan is in the mansub, a house. Al-bayta, the house. So that's if you put an alif lam on it. Shamsin, it means a sun. And if you put alif lam on it, it becomes ash-shamsi, the sun. And I want to bring your attention to the sun and moon letters over here. So some of the letters you will pronounce the alif lam, like al-kitabu and al-bayta, and some of them you will not pronounce the lam. It will be silent and it will just become ash-shamsa. So about masculine and feminine words, we know that nouns can be either masculine or feminine, and we have actually learnt 4 ways a word can be feminine. By now we have learnt 4 ways. Number 1 is that it is an intrinsically feminine attribute. For example, al-ummu means mother, as we know. Ukhtun means sister. Ha'idun means menstruating woman. Hamilun means pregnant. So, these are all feminine attributes and things that only happen to females. The second way a word can be feminine is it has a ta marbuta. Simply, it has a ta marbuta either in its separated form or its joined form, like this. For example, muslimatun, jannatun, generally they're going to be feminine. However, there are some exceptions to this rule which I want to bring to your attention. So, for example, the word khalifa. We have the word khalifatun over here, khalifa. Khalifa means like the khalifa, the leader, okay, the leader, and especially it's used in an Islamic sense, like the leader of an Islamic empire or the Islamic state. And the khalifa is always going to be a male, so even though the khalifatun, it has a ta marbuta on it, we would still say al khalifatu aminun and not aminatun. because the Khalifa is a male. Okay. Same thing with the word with the name Muawiyah. Muawiyatun. So his name is actually not Muawiyatun, Muawiyatu. So Muawiyah is the name of a man or a Sahabi. It's a male name, and even though it has a ta marbuta on it, we consider it as a masculine. Same thing with the word Talha. Talha, Talha is the name of a man, generally speaking, even though it has a ta marbuta on the end. So there are some exceptions. So whenever the meaning of a word is actually masculine, even though it has a ta marbuta on it, we consider it as masculine. But that's the exception, and the main thing is that the general rule, and the general rule is that usually if there is a ta marbuta on a word, then you know that it's probably going to be feminine. Okay, unless the meaning states otherwise. Number 3, it is used by the Arabs as a feminine word. For example, an-nar. Nar means fire. It's used even though it doesn't have a ta marbuta on it or anything. We still consider it as a feminine word. The word ard, ardun, earth. What else? Ardun, bi'run means well, etc., etc. And number 4 is the fourth way a word can be feminine, and if it is the plural of a non-human object or a non-human thing. So for example, kutubun. Kutubun is the plural of kitab. Now kitabun is a masculine word, okay? But when you make it into plural, it becomes feminine. Kutubun. Because why? It is the plural of a non-human object. Kitab is not a human, obviously, and it's not a human attribute either. It's an object. So when it becomes feminine, it becomes when it becomes plural, sorry, it becomes feminine. Same thing with bilad. The singular of bilad is baladun, which means country. Baladun is masculine, but when it becomes plural, it becomes feminine. Okay, so you would need to use the feminine, adjectives and the feminine pronouns, etc., etc., when you are using kutubun and biladun and any other plural of a non-human object or thing. Another general rule to remember is that if you have an adjective and you want to make it a feminine word, then you just add ta marbuta at the end. So you have the word muslimun over here. Muslimun is an adjective for a human being, okay, or for anything. So muslimun would mean a male Muslim. If you just want to make it into a female, then you would say muslimatun, okay. Same thing, for example, if you want to say for example, ash-shajaratu, you want to say the tree is big. Ash-shajaratu kabir, you have to put a ta marbuta at the end, so you say kabiratun. Ash-shajaratu kabiratun. And this is very useful because by now I think you understand that there are actually more feminine words than masculine words in the Arabic language, because the plurals are feminine and etc., etc. So you do need to know how to make a word into feminine if you're going to be using it in a sentence. For the singular, dual, and plural, we know that there are actually 3 types of plurals. The first type is the broken or irregular plurals. They follow different patterns, which you need to memorize as you go, so that it doesn't follow a specific pattern. You just need to memorize the plural along with the singular. So kitabun is singular, and the plural is kutubun. Kitabun, kutubun. Alimun means scholar. Alimun is singular. The plural of alim is ulama, so it's plural. And I'll be giving you the plural of every word, or you can ask me the plural of a word as we go along, and you can memorize it just like that. But as you can clearly see, the plural also has the same root letters as the singular, so that makes it a little bit easier for us to sort of understand. to make a so the second plural is to make a singular sound masculine word, okay, which does follow a pattern. That's why it's called sound. It's sound because it follows a very safe and sound pattern which you can rely on. So if you want to make a singular masculine word into a plural, you add ina or una depending on the state. So muslimina, okay, this is for majroor and mansub in the mansub case, majroor and mansub case. Or you add una, it becomes muslimuna, and that is all only in the marfu case. Okay, so as soon as you see ina or una on the end of the word, you know that it is plural, generally speaking. And feminine sound plural end in at. Okay, so muslimatun or muslimatin. Okay, there's no muslimatan. There's only muslimatun and muslimatin. And if you have a Muslim, you want to make it into feminine sound plural, you just add at the end, like mu'minat, qanitat, etc. If you want to make a word into dual, it's very easy. All you have to do is make a word into dual. You add aini or ani. When do you use aini? You use aini when it is majroor or mansub, according to the sentence. And you add ani when it is marfu. So for example, you have, okay, for this one, muslimani is mansub. Oh, sorry, marfu. Muslimani is marfu. So as soon as you see ani at the end of a word, it's a dual. Or if you see aini at the end of a word, then it is dual and it is majroor or it is mansub. And for the state of declension, we have pretty much gone over it in the last few slides, but this is the key that you need for you to understand how it is. So for a singular marfu, it will have a dhamma, like kitabun, for example. For singular mansub, it will have fatha, and for singular majroor, it has kasra. So there's three different options. For a dual, the marfu will have ani, like kitabani. For the dual mansub, it will have aini, like kitabaini. And for the dual majroor, it will have aini, like kitabaini, jannataini, muslimaini, etc., etc. For the plural sound masculine, the marfu will have una, like muslimuna, mu'minuna, kafiruna. The plural will have ina, which means like kafirina, mushrikina, mukhlisina, muhtadina, and also the majroor will have ina. And for the plural sound feminine, it has a dhamma. For the marfu, like muslimatun or al-muslimatu, the mansub has a kasra. Okay, so it's different from the singular. The plural sound feminine has a kasra when it's mansub, muslimatin, al-muslimati. And the majroor has a kasra, which is the same as this one, muslimatin, al-muslimati. So there's only two options for the plural sound feminine, dhamma or kasra kasra. That's it. Lesson 3 is all about detached pronouns. So we know we have to just memorize this table and we can use it in sentences or identify it in ayahs in the Quran according to its gender and the number. Okay, so that's how this, and also the tense or the person. So we have, for example, this is all third person, this is all second person, meaning you're talking to someone directly, and this is first person, you're talking about yourself. So huwa means he, huma means them, both, hum means they, and this is all for males. Hiya means she, huma means them both for female, hunna means they for female. Anta means you for male, antuma, you both for male, antum, you all for male, anti, you for female, antuma, you both for female, antunna, you all female. And this is second person. Ana means I, first person, nahnu, we, first person, plural. and it can be used for both masculine and feminine. So all you have to do is just memorize this table and revise it really properly, because this table kind of comes again and again throughout the rest of the categories of words. And in lesson 4, that's exactly what happens. So as you can see here, there's a corresponding detached pronoun like huwa. When it becomes attached, you make it into hu. So kitab plus hu equals kitabuhu, kitabuhu, his book. Kitab plus huma equals kitabuhuma, kitabuhuma, their book. Kitab plus hum equals kitabuhum, kitabuhum, their book. But there's a difference between their book and their book, or kitabuhuma and kitabuhum. Kitabuhuma is dual, kitabuhum is plural. Kitab plus ha equals kitabuha, kitabuha, her book. Kitab plus huma equals kitabuhuma, kitabuhuma, their book, but it's for female. Kitab plus hunna equals kitabuhunna, kitabuhunna, their book. This is all third person, okay, like you're talking about someone else. Kitab plus ka equals kitabuka, kitabuka, your book. You're talking to someone, you're addressing someone, you're saying this is your book, or go and get your book. Kitab plus kuma equals kitabukuma, your book. Kitab plus kum, kitabukum, your book, your book. So you see, they're all your. But in Arabic, we know that there's a difference between the ka, kuma, kum, kitabuki, kitabukuma, and kitabukunna. It's according to the masculine, feminine, and the plural, dual, and singular. And the last one is kitab plus e equals kitabi, kitabi, my book. And kitab plus na equals kitabuna, kitabuna, our book. So whenever you see this hu, huma, hum, ha, huma, hunna, ka, kuma, kum, ki, kuma, kunna, e, and na at the end of a word, then you know that it is an attached pronoun, and you need to make sure that you translate it accordingly. Lesson 5 is all about prepositions. So prepositions, they give us more information and more meaning and more details in a sentence. For example, about the location about it, or the origin, for example. So fi means in, ala means on or upon, ila means to, bi, okay, with a kasra, means with, in, or by. There's a few, etc. There's a few meanings for bi. An also has a few meanings, from, about, etc., etc. There's a few meanings for that, and you just learn it as you go, how to use the meaning with whatever word that you're using it with. Min simply means from, so it's easy. Lesson 6 is also about prepositions. So we have ma'a means with, qablu or qabla means before, ba'da means after, bayna means between, duna means other than or besides than, and sometimes it's used with min dunillah, or min duni da da da, and it still means the same thing. Ghayra or ghayri, or min ghayri, it means other than, not, or non. So we say ghayr mahram, it means non-mahram. Here are some extra prepositions that you can learn and you can revise and add to your word list. Inda means with or from. Tahta means under. Fawqa means above. Hatta means until. Yameen, yamina means right hand or right side. Sometimes yameen can be used as a noun, so you can say yaminun, which would mean right hand, okay? But it can be used as a preposition as well, because you're talking about the direction of a thing. Shimalun or shimala means left side or left. It can also be used as a noun if you're saying left hand, but if you're talking about the direction, then it becomes a preposition. Amama means in front of, wara'a means behind, and khalfa means behind as well. And you must remember that after a preposition, a word is always majroor. So this is where the majroor, mansoob, and marfu thing comes in, because we need to see if there's a preposition somewhere, we need to see what word is it affecting afterwards. So we have, for example, fi, okay? You can't just have fi just by itself. the fi needs to be affecting or connected to some other word, making it majroor. So fi plus a majroor word would be fil kitabi, in the book, for example. And for a singular, the majroor has a kasra. Fi kitabaini, in two books. The majroor in the dual, the majroor has aini at the end. Min, okay, min, for example, min muslimina, from Muslims. The plural sound masculine has ina, aini, ina. Don't get confused. Aini, the ba, the last letter of the actual word has a fatha and the nun has a kasra. In the plural, the last letter of the actual word has a mi, a kasra, and the nun has a fatha. Muslimina. The plural sound feminine, the majroor has a kasra. Muslimati, muslimatin, for example. And the last one that I want to tell you today, it is an exception from these rules. It is called the diptote, or what we call in Arabic غير منصرف. You write it like this in Arabic, غير منصرف. منصرف or منصرفين actually. غير منصرف. It means non. You can't put a harakat on it. It's a word that you cannot put a haraka or a kasra on it, I guess. Okay, and these are including proper nouns and broken plurals with two letters after the alif. Okay, so it's a very specific rule. And when this diptote or غير منصرف is majroor, it is actually majroor with a fatha. Okay, it's majroor with a fatha. So for example, a proper noun is, for example, Mecca. So if you say in Mecca, you're going to say fi Makkata. You're not going to say fi Makkatin or Makkati. That's incorrect, okay? Because I like to think of it like, oh, the kasra is a low haraka. That's why, a proper noun like Mecca cannot take, I don't know, cannot take the lowly haraka. That's just my theory. I'm not sure what the wisdom behind it is, but that's just the rule. Fi Makkata. And Makkata, even though it has a fatha on it, it looks like it's mansoob, but it's actually majroor. Why? Because it has a fi before it. So we know the fi is affecting the word Makkah, Makkata. Okay? Same thing with another proper noun, the name Aishata. So you say ma'a means with. Ma'a is going to affect the word after it. So we say ma'a Aishata. We don't say ma'a Aishati, because Aishata is a proper noun. A proper noun, yep. So not all proper nouns, only the ones that follow this sort of pattern. And also the last one was the broken plural with two letters after the alif. So we have the word makan. Makan means place. It's a singular, and the plural of makan is amakin. So there's an alif in there, and there's two letters after the alif. So in that case, it would also become غير منصرف. So if you're going to say ila is a preposition, means to. Ila amakina. So that is majroor as well, but it's majroor with a fatha. And we would say, oh, it's majroor with a fatha because it is غير منصرف, it is a diptote. So it has an exceptional rule. So this is just one exception that you can understand, that you might come across in the Quran. You definitely will come across, because it's not as common as the other four, but it does come, because there are a lot of proper nouns in the Quran and there are a lot of plurals in the Quran as well. So if you see like a word is majroor, like a preposition, and the word after it has a fatha, maybe it's a diptote. Lesson 7 is demonstrative pronouns. So some of the demonstrative pronouns, it means like you're pointing at something and it's near. So هذا, هذه for singular, هذاني or هاتاني for dual, هؤلاء and هؤلاء for plural, whether it's male or female. هنا just means here. And the demonstrative pronouns for fa is ذلك and تلك, for dual ذانك and تانك, and for the plural it's أولئك and أولئك. And for the place, it's hunaka. Hunaka. It means there. Like you're talking about something a bit far away. So that's it for demonstrative pronouns. Lesson 8 is about relative pronouns. So what is the purpose of a relative pronoun? It's when you are describing something with a sentence. So you need something to connect the word and the sentence together. So alladhi, you're giving more information about that thing, and then after alladhi you'll have like a sentence or a phrase or something. So alladhi means the one who, or the, who, etc., etc. Allati, same thing for feminine. Alladhani or alladhaini, allatani, allataini is for dual. Alladhina, those who or the ones who. And the feminine plural has 3 options: allati, allawati, and allai. And allai is the only one that comes in the Quran, so you just memorize that one. Lesson 9 is all about questioning words. So we have mata means when, aina means where, kaifa means how, kam means how much or how many, mada means what, or you can say ma. Limada means why, or you can say lima as well, just lima like that. Man means who, and liman means whose. And there is another one, anna, which means how or etc. There's a few other meanings for it. Lesson 10 is how to make a sentence in Arabic, which is how we bring all the things together. So we have to remember that the mubtada is the main subject of discussion. It is the subject, and it is usually just one word. And to be honest, it's always just one word, okay? And it's usually a noun. It's a noun. It's just a noun. And it is usually definite, but sometimes it can be indefinite, depending on the sentence. And it is mostly marfu, okay? It's always going to be marfu, actually. Let's just call it, it's marfu, okay? So if you want to find the mubtada in a sentence, you find a word that is marfu, and it's a noun. And it's going to be definite, usually. The second part of the sentence is the khabar, which is the predicate, the information that we give about the subject. Okay, and usually it's indefinite. If it's a noun, it's usually going to be indefinite, but sometimes it can be definite depending on the context of the sentence. But in any case, it follows the mubtada in the gender and the number, mostly marfu as well. So for example, we have a very simple sentence over here. Allahu Rahimun. Allah is Rahim, is merciful. So Allahu, it's definite, it's marfu, and it's a noun. It's at the start of the sentence, so we know clearly that it is marfu. It is the mubtada. And Rahimun is at the end of the sentence. It's indefinite because it has a tanween at the end, and it's following the khabar, the mubtada. The khabar is following the mubtada in all its qualities, meaning the gender and the number. It's singular and masculine. Allahu is the word singular and masculine, so we know that it is khabar. Okay. However, when we bring in, for example, prepositional phrases, okay, which is a preposition and a majrur word, okay, then there are 2 options. Option number 1 is the prepositional phrase itself can be the khabar if there is none found, if there is no other nouns found in the sentence. Like for example over here, walahum, this wa is just means and, lahum is a prepositional phrase. It's la plus hum. Lahum means for them, okay? And then we have the word after it, adabun, a punishment, and azimun, it is an adjective for adabun, so it's not like a separate word, it's connected to this one, okay? Adabun azimun is a great punishment. A great punishment. It's all together, okay? This whole thing is together. So, then we realize that there's only 2 parts to the sentence, lahum and adabun. So what do we make the mubtada and what do we make the khabar? Okay, Adab, the only noun or the only sort of noun in this sentence which is marfu is adabun adimun. So we make adabun adimun the mubtada, and the khabar can just be this prepositional phrase, and that's totally fine because we're saying and a great punishment is for them, or for them is a great punishment. So the subject of the sentence that we're talking about is a great punishment. That's like the noun that we're talking about. And then we're saying, oh, who is this great punishment for? It's for them. Okay, that's the information that we're giving about it. Okay, or the second option, if there's a prepositional phrase in a sentence, is that it could just be simply extra information, which is helpful sometimes. Most of the time, obviously. So, for example, but this is in the case where the mubtada and the khabar are already there. If you find a prepositional phrase, then that means it's just extra information. So, huwa is definitely mubtada because it is definite, it's a pronoun, and detached pronouns are always mubtada. So, that's an easy tip that you can get. Ala kulli shay'in is a prepositional phrase. And the only other noun in this sentence is qadirun. So we don't say ala kulli shay'in, oh, it's a prepositional phrase, we can make it into a khabar. No. There's already a noun in the sentence and it's indefinite on top of that. That means it's even more likely to be the khabar. So we just make this the khabar. Huwa qadirun. It means he is competent or he is powerful. And then ala kulli shay'in, over all things, it's extra information, or it's supplementary information that gives us more meaning to the sentence. وَهُوَ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدِيرٌ. And he is, over all things, powerful. So that's a complete sentence. Lesson 10 is also about adjectives. So in Arabic, we know that adjectives come after the described word. So if you say a big house, the adjective came before the described word. House is the described word and big is the description or the adjective. But in Arabic, you would say baytun kabirun. So you don't say kabirun baytun. You say baytun and then kabirun after that. Okay? And also, as you can see, the adjectives, they follow the described word in all four qualities, and that's how you know that, oh, it becomes together, okay? It becomes part of one word. So kitabun mubinun, it's singular, masculine, both of them. Kitabun mubinun, both of them are singular, both of them are masculine, both of them are indefinite, and both of them are marfu'. So, you know for sure that mubinun is following kitabun in all its qualities. It's an adjective. So you need to translate it together. Kitabun mubinun means a clear book. A clear book. Same thing over here. وَالسَّابِقُونَ الْأَوَّلُونَ. Okay, it has una. This one has una as well. It has alif lam. It has alif lam as well. It's marfu, and what else? It's masculine, it's plural. So both of these words are plural, masculine. They're definite because they both have alif lam on it, and they are marfu'. So you need to translate it together. We have established that awwaluna is an adjective for sabiquna. Sabiquna means the predecessors, and awwaluna means first. So the first, or not predecessors, forerunners, the first forerunners. Sabiquna means forerunners, meaning the ones who go first, kind of thing. So they are the first of the first, you can say. So yes. Lesson 11 is about the idafa phrase. So we know that the idafa phrase is a very useful phrase to denote connection or possession between two nouns. So Nasrullahi, okay, the help of Allah, okay. So we know that it follows very specific rules. The mudaf over here, let's just start with the mudaf, which is the first part of the idafa phrase. It does not take alif lam and it does not take tanween. So as soon as you come across a word that doesn't have a alif lam, it doesn't have a tanween, a noun, nasru, rabbu, mithqala, then you know immediately that, oh, hey, maybe this is going to be an idafa phrase. Maybe this is going to be a mudaf to a mudaf ilay. And it doesn't matter which haraka it has, nasru, rabbu, or mithqala, mithqali, mithqalu. It doesn't matter. It can be marfu, majroor, and mansoob, and that's how it does change according to the declension in the sentence. So that's fine. That's all right. It can change. The haraka of the mudaf can change, but the speciality of the mudaf is that it doesn't have an alif lam and it doesn't have a tanween. Okay. And then you would confirm that yes, it is a mudaf ilay phrase or idafa phrase, because the next word after it would always be majroor. The mudaf ilayhi is always going to be majroor, and it can have a al or a tanween. In fact, it should. It should have some sort of tanween or al, mostly. So nasrullah, okay, the help of Allah. That's how we know that this is one phrase and you need to translate it together. So you say help of Allah. And help of Allah, this is not a complete sentence. You need to put something after it, or maybe you're going to use it for something before it. So that's how you know that it's an idafa phrase. It's not a sentence, but it's very useful because it's denoting the connection between help and Allah, help of Allah. Okay, Rabbul Alamina. So Rabbul Alamina, it's majroor because it has ina at the end. Alamina is a sound masculine plural. So Lord of the worlds. Okay, mithqala dharratin. Mithqala means weight of an atom. So this one, it doesn't have alif lam on it. That's totally fine because it means weight of an atom. Dharratin, an atom. So here are some tips when you're translating. I want you to first do the word by word translation. That's step number 1. And then step number 2 is to see which word is adjective for any word. So how will you know this? If you see that a word is following the described word in all 4 qualities, then you just group it together and you translate it together. Okay? Whether it's part of the mubtada or part of the khabar or part of any other, majroor word or anything like that. So if you see a word following the word before it in all 4 qualities, then you know that it's an adjective. And then number 3, see which word pairs are mudaf and mudaf ilayh. So that's the third thing you need to see. How will you know this? How will you know that a word is mudaf and mudaf ilayh? Isn't part of an idafa phrase? The harakat and the state of declension. Just look at the rules. The mudaf, it's not going to have a alif lam or a tanween, and the haraka can change. However, the mudaf ilayhi will always be majroor. Okay, so if you see like a majroor word, okay, after a word, it's probably going to be mudaf ilayh. And if there's no prepositions, because remember, there's only 2 ways that a word can be majroor. If it's after a preposition like fi, ala, min, or if it's part of a mudaf ilayh. Okay. So if you do identify a mudaf ilayh pair and idafa phrase, then you pair it together and you translate it together, and the translation would be of. Yes, of. Or you would put an apostrophe s, Allah's mercy, help of Allah, or Allah's help, or Allah's mercy. It's denoting connection or position. And you must remember that there is no is or are in English, which are auxiliary verbs. You need to put these between the subject and the predicate. And that's why it's so important to know what is the subject, what is the predicate, what words are adjectives. Okay, so example number 1, Allahu Rahimun. So if we do a word by word translation, we say Allah Rahimun, merciful. So the mubtada and the khabar, they are both singular nouns, both of them are marfu'. The mubtada is definite and the khabar is indefinite. So it's really easy. All you have to do is put a is in between the mubtada and the khabar. Allah is merciful. It's a very simple sentence and it's very easy to translate. Example number 2. Hum means they. Fiha means in it. Khalidun means eternal or immortal. Okay, and it's plural because it has una in there. So step number 1, the mubtada is a detached pronoun. So hum is definitely going to be the mubtada. We know that because it's a detached pronoun. 2, the khabar is marfu' because it ends with una. It ends with una, as you can see over here. So that means you know that, oh, it's definitely going to be the khabar because that's the only noun, only other noun in the sentence. And it's indefinite as well. It doesn't have alif lam. That's how we know it's khabar. And this fiha over here, it's just a prepositional phrase to add extra detail. So the translation would be, they are in it eternal. Okay, they are eternal, they are in it eternal. Yeah. Example number 3. Walahum, wa means and, lahum means for them. So this is a prepositional phrase. Adabun means punishment, and adhimun means great. Now, the sentence starts with a prepositional phrase for them. Okay, so we just translate it like that for now. The next word is punishment, and it's indefinite masculine. And there's no other word after, like, okay, let's go into number 3 first. And adhimun, as you can clearly see, adhimun, it is following the word adabun in all its qualities. It's indefinite, it's masculine, it's singular, etc. So that means it is an adjective. So we need to group adabun adhimun together. It's not separate. Adabun adhimun. So now we see that there are actually 2 parts to this sentence. Walahum and adabun adhimun. And as we know, the mubtada, it needs to be a noun. Okay, so the only noun in this sentence is adabun adhimun. So we make adabun adhimun into the mubtada, and walahum, there's nothing else there. So walahum, the prepositional phrase, will become the khabar. And so you put is between the mubtada and the khabar, and it becomes, and for them is a great punishment. Okay, or you can even translate it the other way around. You can say a great punishment is for them. But if you want to translate it, exactly like this, you would say, and for them is a great punishment. Example number 4. وَذَلِكَ means and that. Al-fawzu, the success. Al-mubinu, the clear. So we have a few over here. The sentence starts with a demonstrated pronoun, that. It can be the mubtada because demonstrated pronouns are definite. So it can definitely be the mubtada. The next word is the success, and it's definite masculine. It has alif lam on it. The word al-mubin, it follows the word al-fawz in all its qualities. It's definite. It has al on it as well. It's marfu', it's singular, it's masculine. So that means you need to pair up al-fawzul mubinu together, okay, and make it into one phrase, the clear success. And there is no other words, aka noun, so that means this clear success is actually the khabar, even if it happens to be definite, and usually khabar is indefinite. So over here, this is one of the sort of exceptions or the contextual ones. Usually how we said that, oh, khabar is indefinite, but over here it's definite. And that's fine because the meaning is still complete and it makes sense. And then you just put is between the mubtada and the khabar. وَذَلِكَ, and that is the clear success, and that is a complete sentence. Example number 4 is ulaika. Ulaika means those. Ashabu, companions. An-nari, the fire. So over here we have those. The sentence starts with a demonstrated pronoun, those, and it can be the mubtada because demonstrated pronouns are definite. So let's just make ulaika the mubtada. So now the mubtada needs a khabar. The next word, companions, as you can see, ashabu. What's strange about this word? Oh, it doesn't have an alif lam on it, and it doesn't have a tanween on it. Ashabu. So this is a very clear indication that, oh, it's probably going to be part of an idafa phrase. So let's continue on and we see, oh, the next word is an-nari and it's majroor. So yes, we have confirmed that this is an idafa phrase. So we say ashabun nari together. Ashabun nari means companions of the fire. Okay, the companions of the fire. So you translate it together. And the word ashabu, it's dhamma, it's marfu, so it's probably khabar as well. And that's right, it is khabar. So you would put those are the companions of the fire. Now, this is the vocab list from the course so far. So I'm just going to quickly go through the meaning. You can just write it down. I'll start from the right hand side because that's sunnah. Qadirun means powerful or competent. Fakihatun, fawakihun, fruits. Amalun, a'malun, deeds or deed. Maghfiratun, forgiveness. Shahidun, shuhada, witness, forgiveness, witness or martyr, the one who dies in the path of Allah. Wa'adun means promise. Kullu means every. And kullu shay'in or kulli shay'in means everything. Mulku means dominion. Fawzun means success. Nadhirun means warner. Sharikun, shuraka, partner, partners. Aqibatun, end result or end outcome. Yameen, aman, right hand side or right hand. Shimalun, shama'il, left or left hand side. An-nas, people. Baladun, baldatun, and the plural is biladun, land or countries. Sahibun, ashabun, companion, companions. Khasir, khasiruna, loser, losers. Nahrun, anharun, river, rivers. Haddun, hududun, laws or limits. Shajaratun, ashjarun, trees, trees. Qaryatun, qura, villages or village. La'natun, curse. Ummatun, umamun, nation. Bintun, banatun, daughter. Qawmun, aqwamun, tribe or people. Ahlun means family or people, like Ahlul Kitab, people of the book. Azimun, great. Mubinun, clear. Alimun, learned or all-knowing. Ayatun, verse or sign. Sama, sky. Nafs, soul, self. Sabil, path. Nar, fire. Bayyina, evidence. Hayat, life. Amrun, matter. Sharrun, evil. Rahmatun, mercy. Yawmun, day. Qalbun, qulubun, heart, hearts. Rasul, rusulun, messenger, messengers. Shay'un, ashya, things. Kitab, kutub, books. So, what to revise for the mini class quiz? You must revise the categories of words from this lesson. So all the demonstrative pronouns, the relative pronouns, the detached, the attached, the questioning words, all these slides. Just go ahead and revise all of these. Maybe you can do some flashcards or get someone to test you on them as well, etc., etc. Number 2, how to translate simple sentences and ayahs, mostly what you have already done. So I'm not going to be giving you like whole pages to translate. That's not at this stage, but definitely simple ayahs and sentences that I know that you can translate. I'll be asking you to translate those. And the vocab list on the previous slide with the translations. Please memorize the plural as well. And the quiz will be on Kahoot, so it's going to be online. So please use a laptop so you can have 2 tabs open, or a second device if you're using mobile. So alhamdulillah, you can definitely say alhamdulillah that we have learned approximately 50% of all Quranic words with the grammar rules by now. So it's not just a matter of memorizing the words and just being done with it. We also learned the grammar rules in depth. So make shukr to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and say thanks to Allah, because the more Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَلَئِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ. If you do shukr and you are grateful, then I will increase you. And we still have halfway of the course left. So inshallah, I hope that you can make the most of that as well. Okay, inshallah, I will see you in the live class. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.